Yo, what's going on, guys? James/GoldenGoblin290 here for another video. Now, the title of this video, no, this isn't a recent thing that happened. This happened a while ago, maybe about... Oh, wow. It's January when I'm filming this. I think... Oh, no, it's not January. It's the 1st of February I'm filming this. I got used to saying it's January. You're seeing this about halfway through February, I believe. This happened... not almost a year, actually no, it could have been almost a year ago. It happened a while ago, okay? I'm in year 9 in school now, it happened back when I was in year 8. I think it was towards the end of the year, maybe like May or something, so almost a year ago, or 8 months or something. But yeah, the title, like I said, not a recent thing, but I do want to talk about it because it was quite crazy. So a bit of background. I hang out with friends, obviously. And before you will comment saying, "Oh, James has friends," yeah, of course I do. But yeah, I hang out with friends, and some of them aren't really that popular with the popular kids, if that makes sense. Basically, some of them do get bullied, whether it's minor or not. I was hanging out with this person around the time, well, for a while actually, around the time, and I think this is what led up to it because he isn't very how do I put this? He isn't very respected among like the entire school, basically. And I was hanging around with him, and this person who was down from me, so he was in year 7 at the time. He decided, you know what, like him and his group of friends anyway, he decided, you know what, let's just decide to pick on this guy that basically nobody likes. And of course, in doing that, they had to do the same. Well, it wasn't really a massive thing with me and my other friends, but it was like a minor thing where they decided why not include them. You know, like they hang around with him, they must be losers too. Basically, that type of thing that most bullies probably do. So they did that, and eventually, over time, because this was going on for maybe about 3 or 4 months, maybe even longer than that, and my friends and I were getting really, really annoyed with it. And we all, basically at this time, we all wanted to Falcon Punch them. Every single one of us wanted to punch every single one of them, possibly at the same time. And basically just turn their lives into hell. We all wanted to do that. And at the time, our friend, who was probably the one who ended up attracting this because we were hanging out with him, not his fault, of course, but because we were hanging out with him, it attracted this. He started to get really, really angry with it, and obviously he was from the start, but he started to get more and more angry with it. And he started, well, he was obviously retaliating a little with insults and stuff, but he did start to get a bit more aggressive with it. And eventually, this led to him getting into a minor fight, I believe, not physical fight, but like verbal fight with them. And then we were suddenly so much lower in their good books, like seriously, so much lower. And this eventually led to my friend and I, best friend now. I'm not going to say who. And like I said, best friend now, he was anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to say who, because privacy and all that. But we started to obviously get angry, like we would anyway. But we decided, you know what? If anything escalates, if they try to hit us, let's just hit back. And they never did for a while, until one day where we were just hanging out normally. I think we were practicing a little bit of parkour just because there's a perfect area in our school to practice a certain move, the turn vault, and we were just practicing that. And then they came over to us, and I think our friend was with us. Yeah, it was with us. It was with us at the time, and I think 2 or 3 other friends with us at the same time as well. We were just kind of talking and practicing parkour, and they came over to us and they started insulting us. And I normally keep quiet in these situations because I can't be bothered whether to, possibly end up getting into a physical fight. It's not that I'm like, I don't want to get into fights, because obviously I don't want to get into fights, but it's not like I don't ever want to get into fights. If I have to, then it's like, why not? Basically with me, I don't care about fighting, but if I have to protect myself or my friends from, I don't know, bullies or something, and then I will fight. I'm not a full pacifist. And I thought, okay, why not? I'll just insult them back. So I started insulting them back, and then eventually it got to the point where there was not a big crowd, but there was a tiny crowd around us because they could probably all sense that some fight was going to break out. So we were in the middle of this courtyard type of thing. Not really a courtyard, but it was a flat area of concrete, just a open flat area. And we were there when the conflict happened. And I turned around to my friend who was behind me at the time, and I started talking to him. And this guy, the main leader of the opposing pack, I guess you could say, he decided that he wanted to run up from behind me and, well, I was going to say jump, but I don't even know if he did jump or not because I didn't see because my back was turned. But he decided that he was going to jump onto my back. Maybe not go for a whole leap, but he did end up on my back and he was trying to choke me. He had his arms around my neck and he was trying to choke me. I don't know whether it was to the point where it was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to kill this buffoon. Or it was just like, you know what? Let's show him who's boss because I am a bully and I am probably very weak in the inside. So I'm just going to do this now. But that happened, and me being me, the way I work, basically, I said I'm not really a pacifist, but I'm not really the violent type. The way I work, I'm in the middle for all the time. I'll try and be a pacifist as much as I can, but it's not really going to happen all the time. But if someone does hit me or try to hurt me in any way, that's it. That is it. I will go nuts on them. And that's exactly what happened. So this kid decided he wanted to jump on my back and start choking me. I spin around, get him off me, and I kid you not, started battering him. I can't remember how many times I hit him, but I'm sure it was around 15. I hit him maybe 3 times and he fell over straight onto the ground. I kept hitting him because, of course, I would. He jumped onto my back and tried to strangle me. Plus, all this built up anger from him, giving me minor annoyance from minor bullying, but then also actually bullying my friend. Not, I don't think it was physical because when I was there, it didn't seem to be physical. But I don't know if anything physical happened when I wasn't there. I don't think anything did, but it was still very like bullying doesn't really come better if it's not physical because obviously if you attack someone emotionally, that can give really bad effect. Yeah, built up anger from all of that. So I just kept hitting him when he was on the floor. About 3 hits, he was on the floor, and then I just kept hitting him. And it got to the point where my friend was like, okay, you should probably stop because you might break his bones if you keep hitting him. And if I didn't stop, I might have actually done that. Not from like my punches are so hard, but because I probably would have just got that angry, I would have just snapped his arm in half. So yeah, I stopped. I gave him a little kick. I say a little kick. I kicked him in his waist, I believe. It was waist, stomach area. I can't remember exactly because I didn't really look. And I walked away, grabbed my blazer and my bag, and then as I was doing that, a teacher came up to me and was like, "Why? Why?" So he came to talk to me. We briefly explained, my friend and I, and another friend who was also there from the sideline. So he explained from his point of view, I explained from mine, and then he was like, "Wait, so he jumped on your back and tried to strangle you?" And I said, yeah, he did. He actually tried to do that, and that's why I hit him so much because I don't know, I could have gone back and hit my head on the concrete or something. I don't know, I could have died from that possibly if it went really, really bad. And he was like, yeah, I understand. I would have done that too, honestly. So then, obviously, with the whole protocol with the fight, both people, whoever started it, they get a punishment, whether it's minor or not. And they told me that I was going to have a lunch detention. Well, a minor lunch detention. It was like half of the lunch because if they stick you in for all of lunch, then you're not going to have a chance to eat anything, and they're not allowed to do that. So they kept me in for half of lunch, and then the day after that, they were going to hold me in for the second lesson, the break, and then the third lesson. Because at the time, it's changed now, but at the time it was first, second lesson, break, third lesson, lunch, then fourth and fifth. But now it's one lesson, break, 2 and 3, lunch, and then fourth and fifth. So at the time, they held me in for lesson 2 to do my work in a secluded room, a break as well, and then the third lesson, and then they let me out at lunch. So I was in there, and this guy, the teacher, who he didn't really break up the fight because I'd already finished it before he got there, or as he was arriving, either one. But he basically fought for my freedom, if that's a good way to put it. He thought, okay, you know what? I would do the same thing if someone jumped on my back and tried to strangle me. I would batter them. So I understand why James did that. Let's try and at least make the punishment not as bad. And I think if he didn't do that, I would have either had a full day of in-school suspension or a day of out-of-school suspension. I don't know. Probably just in school. I don't think you'd really get out of school for suspension for defending yourself because everyone saw it and were like, yeah, he jumped on his back. Why? So yeah, all of that happened, and like I said, I ended up having the minor, like half lunch detention and then the seclusion from the rest of the school for like 2 lessons and a break. But yeah, that happened, and obviously from then on, this kid never bothered me again. So if you're wondering why I'm bringing this up, no, I don't want beef with him again. I'm just bringing it up because it's a kind of a funny story, but also one of those intense ones that I thought, why not share with the internet? They can have a bit of a laugh about it if they really want to, and the haters can cry that I did not fall over and smash my head into the concrete. So yeah, that happened. I know it might sound a little unbelievable with the fact that the teacher was so on my side, but that genuinely did happen. You could ask, well, I would say you could ask some of my friends, but I know a decent chunk of the people who watch my channel also go to my school, but there's also those few who don't. So if you find a way to contact my friends, you can ask them. Yeah, if you really want to anyway. So that's about it for this video. So leave a like if you liked this video and subscribe if you're new around here, but please stay active because there's no point in being an inactive subscriber. That's it for me, so peace